Good morning. 1st of April, Mikel Arteta has taken the lead of Saka's form, and obviously today are going to get to know what is the secret behind Bukayo Saka's impressive form this season. Rokani David is my name. How are you guys? And we're watching us from my group by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. It sounds like repetition of my name, but I need to mention it a lot because the further your name goes, the stronger you become. Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know why Jesus is really strong? One of the most, I think it's the most talked about names on the daily. Muhammad, Allah, and so on and so forth. God. You get? So the further your name goes, the further or the more stronger you become. And it's really 1st of April, and guys, thank you for always keeping yourself onto this channel. Today we are discussing lots of things. We are discussing Bukayo Saka. We are talking Erling Haaland's astronomical deal from Nike. They're going to sign him for 10 years in there for you. And lastly, a little bit of we are going to talk a little bit of Vincent Kompany. Surprisingly, he is really emerging as the first choice manager to replace Antonio Conte at Tottenham Hotspur in the summer. Would you advise him to go ahead and take on that job? All that and more into this segment. But let's see close to 200 likes in this video such that we pass on the love. Now, Mikel Arteta has really gone ahead to reveal to us the secret behind the form of Bukayo Saka. You know, most of you have been asking yourselves, what are the activities, what are the do's that Saka is really keeping on a daily that have kept him in shape to find himself in a position of really playing very well for the national team and for Arsenal side. To bring you up to speed, if at all you've not known about what Bukayo Saka is all about, this season in the Premier League, he has gone ahead to score 12 goals in the Premier League and he has 10 assists. That is Bukayo Saka. In 28 games, Bukayo Saka has goal involvement of 22 in there for you. And for your information, he is the only player in the Premier League that's going to have to register a double figure in assists and goals. So it shows you how important he is for the team of Arsenal and why he's really driving them towards lifting the trophy after 20 years, ever since they won it in 2003, 2004, and they won that trophy unbeaten. Now, Mikel Arteta was not shy about this, and he had the following to say about Bukayo Saka's consistency. He has said it's about his mentality. I think there's been a real shift there, and how much he gets it and what he does every single day. And then obviously the maturity and acknowledgement about what to do in every situation. So he's referring it to the mentality shift, the real shift in mentality, obviously, and obviously his maturity. However much is 21, he's making 22 in September. His maturity has been paramount in what he has gone ahead to achieve at Arsenal, and I think he's really right about that. Then he concluded onto that factor by saying the following, that his decision making is getting better and better, and he's making the right decisions more often, and as well because he has very good teammates here at Arsenal and with the national team, and that's a very necessary thing to have, especially when you have to play in attacking positions. To me, amongst everything has gone ahead to say, the right has been so much pinpointing, but this statement that he has very good teammates here at Arsenal, to me, I believe it's his teammates are making him better. That's it. His teammates are making him better, and the confidence they are building in him is really great, because most of the times, if Saka can't get the job done, Odegaard can really go ahead and really take over that responsibility and leads the team to victory. Jesus can, Trossard can, Martinelli can. On rare occasions, you'll find Saliba, Ben White, Zinchenko, Granit Xhaka. So I think he's having good players around him, but obviously even him doing the right thing. So sometimes I believe he holds onto the ball a lot as Bukayo Saka, but Arteta has been on point. This boy is really turning into one of those players that if at all in the next 2 seasons he keeps up this momentum, he's going to be turned into a world-class player. But he faces competition from people like Mohamed Salah and Riyad Mahrez, the likes of Ousmane Dembele. But the good thing with Bukayo Saka is that age is still on his side. Saka is just 21, going to make 22. Salah, I think, made 30. Riyad Mahrez is like 32, 33 years of age. So I think age on his side, and I think unless otherwise Phil Foden can rise up to the occasion, you get, and Mason Greenwood gets back to Manchester United and gets back in the regular team of Manchester United, I think those are the only two people I see in the Premier League that can really raise it to the level. Anthony, unless otherwise he gets a better season next season, that's it. But right now, he's not into the levels of Bukayo Saka. Why? In the entire season, he has 7 goals only and some, is it 1 or 2 assists? So it shows you that it's still lacking for Anthony. And which other team has a left-footed right winger that is really decent? Miguel Almiron, when he went ahead and scored close to 10 goals in 10 consecutive games, we thought that he had gotten himself to those levels, but right now, he's nowhere to be seen. Chelsea, who do they have on the left? Madueke, nowhere near Bukayo Saka. I think there is Amad Diallo. He's tearing up the championship. If Ten Hag grants him a chance to come in through and obviously play there, I think he can give Bukayo Saka a go for that position and obviously put pressure onto him. And actually, this season, most of the right wingers that are left-footed in the Premier League have not done great. You're only naming Bukayo Saka. Salah, over much is having in goals and assists, he's performing below average. That's it. He's performing below average. Riyad Mahrez, not to that level. Phil Foden, on and off, blowing hot and cold. When he came in through, he really got an injury in his back. So that's why Bukayo Saka is really up there, and he's next to none this season. But I think next season, if at all, Anthony raises up to the occasion, Phil Foden raises up to the occasion, Mohamed Salah, Riyad Mahrez, who else? I think if at all, those 3-4 players raised to the occasion, I think they can give Bukayo Saka a chase for the best left-footed winger in the league. But right now, it's Bukayo Saka, and that's why Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to really take the lead of Bukayo Saka's impressive form this season. That wasn't it only. Mikel Arteta had the following to say about this lad known as Bukayo Saka. And as you see there onto the screen, he had the following to say that on his consistency again. He said, I think that's getting better and better, and there are a lot of things that he's doing to maintain his consistency, his habits every single day, how he conducts himself and allows people to give him advice in the right moment. So he's talking about his habits, and the habits are really so much important if at all you're to long live or long last on your career. Let me give you an example. When you look at Ronaldo, the reason as to why he's 38, still playing at that level, is because he really gives his body a rest and he knows how to maintain his body. And I think Bukayo Saka is being advised by people who really know how to see him really maintain his body. And you get shocked about Bukayo Saka's being fit every time. He's one of those players that has been knocked a lot in the Premier League, fouled a lot and really getting very many knocks. But every game, he comes in ready to do the same things. And I think the habits have really helped him go to the next level of really knowing how to recover quickly and recondition his body to keep himself into the right position for the next game of Arsenal. So I think he's tearing it up very, very well. Then Arteta concluded and said on how he pushes himself and the people he has around him, they are all very important factors for someone to be consistent every day. And obviously the people around Bukayo Saka are really great. So he's putting himself in a position of being one of the most consistent players onto the field of play in the league, and so he deserves it. So Saka is really one of the best players in the league this season. Though to me, I believe the best player of Arsenal this season has been Martin Odegaard, and Saka comes next to him because Jesus has obviously been away. But if at all Jesus can come in through and really score some 5 goals to put his tally to 10 and put in some 5 assists to put his tally of goal involvements to 20, he'll really retain back his crown of being the most important player at Arsenal. So that is Bukayo Saka scoring goals in and out for the team of Arsenal, and we are really loving the way he's really putting up those numbers. I don't support Arsenal, but I give credit where it's due, and Bukayo Saka has teared apart the league. It's in raptures, and he is really in the conversation of the best player in the league. Now, Tottenham Hotspur is really having difficult problems. That's it. One, Antonio Conte was sacked, and after being sacked, the technical director who appointed him, or the footballing director of Spurs, Patwitici, has been banned by FIFA. And today Spurs have really gone ahead to issue a statement of seeing him off the job, and he has really thrown in the towel, and obviously he has stepped aside. That's it. Now, Spurs don't have a permanent manager. They don't have a sporting director. Now, Daniel Levy looks like he thinks that I should really get back to the job I used to do. I should get in a manager who can really knock that ball around and really pass it well. Now, guess who the name has landed onto? Obviously, it has gone to Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany, the manager of Burnley, and we've been told by the Mail Sport that Vincent Kompany has become the leading candidate to take over as Spurs manager. Kompany is interested in Spurs' hot seat, which would mark a serious step in the young manager's career, having only retired in the summer of 2020. Now, to me, I've seen very many people saying to Vincent Kompany, don't take the job. That job is nasty. There is nothing going to do at Spurs. Guys, you know what makes us different and brave and makes us successful than others? It's doing things by taking risks. You know, the world is all about taking risks. If you don't risk, you are not going to get to the better job. You know, let's go to the team of Arsenal. Mikel Arteta, you know, how many people were advising Mikel Arteta to become the permanent manager of Arsenal? Do you know how many fans of Arsenal were really irritated when they had stories that Edu is always going to Mikel Arteta's home to discuss about him becoming the next manager of Arsenal? Do you know how many people were against this move? And look, the first season they ever called for his Saka because he won an FA Cup and Charity Shield. His first full season of 2020-2021, he finished 8th, and they called for his head. They called for his sacking. He stayed there and he turned things around. Right now, he is almost going to win the trophy. You know, now, look at Erik ten Hag. Louis van Gaal, formerly at Manchester United, told him, don't go to Manchester United. It's not a footballing club, it's a brand. You get? Erik ten Hag said, all right, I've heard your advice, senior former manager of Manchester United, but I'm going to take a risk. Ten Hag took the risk and it's working out. Trust me, if Ten Hag is back next season, he's going to be one of the competitors of the league, and he has really shown us that things can be turned around at the club of Manchester United. He's also helping the hierarchy of Manchester United to streamline in a better way of a footballing club. Now, when I get those two examples and merge them to Vincent Kompany, if I'm Vincent Kompany, after taking Burnley to the Premier League, I leave them there and I coach Spurs. You know, chances like those come once in a lifetime. You know, Vincent Kompany has been a captain of Man City. He's not naive onto what happens in the Premier League. He knows exactly what happens when you visit Manchester United, when you play away at Etihad, when you play away at Arsenal, when you play away at Leeds, West Ham. So he knows everything. You know, one will say that what of Villas-Boas, who really came in through at Chelsea and obviously found things bad for him, and at Spurs he was naive of the Premier League. That's it. And he never had the experience. But for Vincent Kompany, he has been in the dressing rooms of Man City under different managers: Mancini, Pellegrini, Mark Hughes, Pep Guardiola. You get? And now look at Mikel Arteta. He's doing the job very well. If at all you want to see Spurs getting back to its philosophy, I think this is the guy to bring. You know, people will say, bring in Enrique. Don't bring in Enrique, because when you bring in Enrique, he's a trophy-winning manager. Pressure will amount onto him and fans will call in for trophies. Just do what you did on Pochettino. From Southampton, you brought him to Spurs and told you, I'm building this team. No trophies, but with time, trophies will come. I think Vincent Kompany is a signal of no trophies, but prosperity that is going to come in after some 2-3 years. And that tiki-taka, beautiful flamboyant flow of football at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is going to get back, because when you look at how Burnley plays, they play total foot. But I think Daniel Levy is spot on this one. He's very spot on this one. And those players at Spurs, I think he can turn them into good players. Because when you look at Spurs, they're having a good team. Very well balanced. I believe one position he needs to look at on is the goalkeeping department. He needs another central defender to partner with Romero. Then he needs a creative midfielder. I think that's all. That's all for Spurs. You know, because if I tell you having Danjuma, Kulusevski, Harry Kane, Song Heung-min, Richarlison, I think all the three forward positions are really covered very well. The problem is they are lacking a central attacking midfielder, but they're having three midfielders that can really take them through the season. That is Bentancur, there is Hojbjerg, and Yefis Bissouma. And I think if I really can fight back and get Yefis Bissouma back where he was, that midfield three can obviously be sorted easily enough with Yefis Bissouma and Hojbjerg, or Bentancur, and the new central attacking midfielder that can bring in. But the biggest question is going to be having, and trouble, is to convince Harry Kane to stay at that club, because everything that Spurs has been doing for the previous seasons, it has been because of Harry Kane and Song Heung-min. But you'll say, on the other side, why not sell Harry Kane to Manchester United at £80 million and get the £80 million and get in players that can fit the system and obviously get Spurs to the next level, because Harry Kane is in the past. Harry Kane is not in the future. Song Heung-min is 30 years plus, meaning that he's also in the past, meaning that you need to really build a team on Richarlison, Kulusevski, Yefis Bissouma, Bentancur. You get? That is the new breed of players. They're having Pedro Porro, very good right back, who is really doing wonders at the club of Spurs, and I think he has gone through straight into the Spanish national team to really take that mantle to play as the right back, and I think he's really playing a very good job. So to me, I think Kompany should take the job. If I'm Vincent Kompany, I take that job. I take that job, and I become the next manager of Tottenham Hotspur. You know, life is all about taking risks. You get? Let him take the risk, and I think it's worthy a take, according to me. Now, Erling Haaland, this story has been reported by Jason Butt of the Daily Telegraph and Sun Telegraph. Is a chief football correspondent. He has told us that Erling Haaland's deal with Nike is set to make them his boot manufacturer for the rest of his career. The 10-year plus contract is likely to be the most lucrative in history of football, although figures involved are set to remain confidential. If they say that they are confidential, that means Haaland might bargain close to £300 million, because we've seen the likes of Ronaldo sign deals of close to £200 million. David Beckham, he signed a lifetime deal with Nike and he was given £120 million, and that was like 15 years back. So Haaland might find himself even bagging in close to £500 million, because if it's secretive, then they don't want to reveal it. But let me tell you this, Haaland is having one of the best management teams when it comes to really making money for the team. Sorry, for the player. Getting money from the player. They're one of the best, because Mino Raiola was its head, but he died. But the lawyers and other managers are still there. They are managing Haaland. That's why they are really even pushing Man City by putting in stories that Madrid is coming in for him in 2024, and Man City is frustrated. They are already into the panic mode. They've decided to give him a new contract, and obviously let's see him earn close to £500,000 a week, meaning that his buyout clause is going to increase from £150 million to like £250 million. That's what Man City is going to do, because they want to keep Haaland at the club of Man City. So if you see them doing that bit, I'm meaning the agents, what of when it comes to deals like Nike? You get sponsorship deals. I think he's going to scoop between £300 million to £500 million. Haaland is still young, 21 years of age. He deserves that much from Nike, because he's one of those that is being looked at by the very many players. He's by the very many fans and the would-be fans and the would-be next Haalands in the world. So he's scoring in for fun, 42 goals this season. He still has 11 Premier League games to go. He has 2 games in the Champions League. Those are 13. He has a game into the semi-final of the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday. They can score another hat-trick. Those are how many games? Those are 14. If at all he knocks out Sheffield Wednesday, that is a given. Those are 15, the finale. And if at all he knocks out Bayern Munich, he can extend his games to like 17 or 18. So if Haaland keeps on scoring, he can even score 60 plus goals in the season. And I think there is no player in Premier League history that has ever gone ahead to score the goals that Haaland is really having. When you look in the Premier League only, Haaland is tearing it up, and he's just doing the unexpected, and he's really a very good lad. Premier League only, he has 28 goals in Premier League only. So, and he's left with some good games to go. He can score close to 35 goals, I think, and very many others. So that's what I had for you. Good morning, my mates. Your thoughts on Arteta revealing the secret of Bukayo Saka's recent form? Tell me, and love to share your views with me. Then Haaland's deal. And lastly, would you advise Vincent Kompany to become the manager of Spurs in the mess they are into? I sign out for now. See you later. May the Lord enlighten your day, and my Muslim friends. Ramadan Kareem. Rokani David is my name. I'm out.